Well, 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 well. Ladies and gentlemen, the College Football Playoff Committee ceases to amaze. I'm going to read these rankings, and I'm not going to go too far into them. You get the idea. SOS, Bama, Notre Dame, Clemson, Ohio State, Texas A&M. Number 6, you have Iowa State. Number 7, you have Florida. Number 8, you have Georgia. Number 9, you have Cincinnati. 10, you have Oklahoma. 11, you have Indiana. 12, you have Coastal. 13, you have USC. 14, you have Northwestern. And I'm pretty sure 15th is like UNC or somebody. Also, number 19 is Louisiana. What have I been telling y'all? I mean, I've basically been predicting all these things were gonna happen. I might be a diehard college football fan, but I'm not a know-it-all. These are just the things you have to know if you're a college football fan. Simple as that. Why is Florida number 7? Why are they number 7? Why is that a thing? Why should they, after selling the bag against LSU, why are they only number 7? I don't care if they did body Georgia. Matter of fact, check that. Why is Georgia up that high in the first place? You know what I'm saying? If you want my personal opinion, Florida and Georgia should both be either one team is at the top 10 or they're both outside the top 10. I don't care. Those are 2 losses. Georgia went against Florida and Alabama and got murdered. They don't have any more quality wins, so I don't know why they're still here. Florida just suffered a terrible loss to LSU. I don't know why they only dropped 1 spot. Actually, yes, I do. Sorry, I lied. I know why they dropped 1 spot. You're going to hear it. I don't know why Cincinnati is number 9 now. Why? I told y'all this was going to happen. When I first did the CFP rankings are biased video, I told y'all. I said, look, I'm just going to call it right off the rip right now. They're not going to put them in the college football playoff. You want to know why? Because what did I say? I said because they're going to give them the UCF treatment and they're going to either keep them at 7 or they're going to push them down just to make room for other teams in case they do lose. And I said that. I specifically said that. And it's just when it becomes so predictable, it's almost like, what is really happening? What's really up with the college football, committee? I really want to know this. I really do. Here's my thing. So you're trying to tell me Indiana's 1 loss still doesn't matter compared to Iowa State and Oklahoma and Florida and Georgia's 2 losses? It's almost like losses don't even matter anymore. So why is Indiana 6-1 with a 7-point loss to Ohio State? You put that into perspective, they should be in front of Texas A&M. Here's where I would have my rankings or something, right? You ready for this? I would say number 1 is Alabama. I would say number 2 is Notre Dame. I would say number 3 is Clemson. But because I'm being non-biased, I would put number 4, because y'all gonna look at me weird when I say it. I would put number 4 to be Coastal Carolina because they do have 2 ranked wins and they did run the table. And they also have another chance to get 3 ranked wins. Number 5, I'm putting Cincinnati because they still haven't lost. And even though those games got canceled, guess what? It's not their fault. Because the college football playoff is going to say, oh, snap, Cincinnati hasn't, showed anything of what they can do. And they keep on getting their games canceled. But all of a sudden, you really put it in perspective. Ohio State played a whole bunch of two-win teams when you think about it. And only one time did they play a 6-1 team. Or at the time, they were like 5 or 4-0. So that's Ohio State bias. Don't lie to me. That's Ohio State bias. Coastal number 4. I would put number 5 as Cincinnati. I would put number 6 to be Indiana because they still have a 7-point loss to Ohio State. If you want to put it in perspective, I guess. I would probably put number 8 to go to Texas A&M because, okay, of course they have one loss to Alabama, but that's a bad loss, and they do have ranked wins. And any other team that's 2 loss, doesn't matter. Don't care. Push them away. I'm putting it like that. Yo, and here you go. Oh my gosh. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with college football fans and the college football committee. The college football committee is basically saying, oh, well, I mean, Florida did just have a bad loss, but they still have a game against Alabama. I don't give a damn. You have to do what's right. I don't care if they did. If they did sit there and sacrifice a top 10 matchup. Florida needed to be dropped outside the top 10. I still don't know why Georgia's here. And it's just like, I don't really understand where you're going with this. Sorry, I keep on saying I don't understand where you're going with this. I already do know what they're going with this. I'm gonna speak on it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now seen the first instance of SEC bias in the college football playoff this year. The fact that two loss SEC teams can still be in the playoff like race somehow is like insane to me. I don't know why. And the crazy thing about it is, it's like, but Cincinnati is still doesn't have a single loss. And basically what they says is, they play better teams. Like come on. So losses don't matter anymore. Losses literally don't matter anymore. I like Iowa State. I want Iowa State to win the Big 12 championship. But they are really high. They are really high. When I seen them keep going up over unranked wins, I said, whoa, this is a little weird. Like I said, I don't care if you think, oh, well, Florida would beat the brakes off Cincinnati. Oh, Georgia would clap Cincinnati. Oh, Iowa State. Oh my gosh, they don't got nothing on SEC teams. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say something right now, people. I'm gonna put it in a perspective. Let's go back to 2017 maybe. Auburn bodies Georgia. That does not mean because in the SEC championship game, Georgia's going to get bodied by Auburn again. No, Georgia actually bodied Auburn the second time around. But so many people will be like, oh, well, Auburn bodied Georgia. They're going to do it again, obviously. So I don't even know why Georgia still has a chance. No, you have to wait it out. Oh, snap. Let's talk about that. Let's still keep on talking about that. Auburn beat Alabama by almost 2 scores? And Alabama still got in. Just because Auburn bodies Alabama doesn't mean they can body UCF. UCF goes undefeated, and now they get to face Auburn. Just because UCF in the conference championship game against Memphis allowed them to score 57 points does not mean that they're going to allow 70 against Auburn. And just because UCF goes undefeated and they claim national champions doesn't necessarily mean they'll be the national champions. Let me ball it all up into one big thing, right? If you're using hypothetical theories to rank certain teams, then you're not ranking teams the right way. Boom, bomb truth. That's a truth bomb. If you're using hypothetical theories to rank certain teams, you want to know what that is? That's called biased. What? Like if your actual theory is, oh, why isn't Coastal ranked? Oh, because Coastal Carolina would get bodied by Oklahoma, Georgia, Florida, and Iowa State now. Well, how would you know that? Last time I checked, you're not Raven Simone. You can't tell what's going to happen in the future. Well, at least give Coastal Carolina, at least give Cincinnati a chance to show what they can do. Because damn, if Oklahoma bodies Iowa State and jumps Cincinnati, Georgia, Florida, and then gets miracle losses from Oklahoma or Ohio State and Texas A&M, they get into the 4th spot somehow. And then we get to witness Oklahoma possibly get bodied again in the semifinals. And I'm pretty sure you don't want that. I'm pretty sure you don't want that. So here's what I'm saying to all y'all college football fans, right? I'm gonna need y'all to stop using hypothetical theories into trying to rank people. When you use hypothetical theories to rank teams, that messes up the whole thing. Then you start saying, oh, well, just because, you know, they play this team and that team doesn't mean they can't beat this team. Literally, teams like Boise State played in the WAC conference. It was literally named the WAC conference, but it did not mean they could not beat Virginia Tech. It did not mean they couldn't beat Oklahoma. It did not mean they could beat Georgia. It didn't mean that they couldn't compete for a national championship. If you give that team a chance, then we'll know. But assuming that they're not going to do it because of the conference they play in is biased. That's blatant bias. And I don't give a damn if you try to sit here and tell me, oh, well, I'm not being biased. I'm just sitting here saying they don't play any good teams, so they don't deserve it. Oh, and Ohio State does? They only played one team. The rest of their schedule is 2-win teams. So what makes it different from Ohio State to Cincinnati or Coastal Carolina? Matter of fact, let's even put Louisiana in this situation, because Louisiana should be ranked higher. Oh, all of a sudden, Louisiana bodies Iowa State in the first game by 17 points. Are you trying to tell me that loss doesn't matter anymore? Here's my thing. I've seen teams lose early and still go into the college football playoff. No, I get that. But are you trying to tell me that loss not only doesn't count for Iowa State, it doesn't count for Louisiana either? What the hell type of time are you on? The only loss that Louisiana legit has is a last-second field goal to Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina is undefeated right now. And you're trying to tell me that resume isn't better than USC, Northwestern, North Carolina? Heck, like I said, Coastal Carolina should be top 10. I'm sorry, but if you really think about that, they should be right there with Indiana. Like, what? Like, what are you trying to say, man? And then it's so funny because I literally, before I did this video, I literally see a little piece on ESPN app saying that the American Conference wants the BCS back. And you want to know something? I don't want the BCS back. But I do want the BCS to rank the teams again. Cause here's the truth that nobody ever thinks about. Oh yeah, the BCS might have messed up on 1 and 2, but when's the last time the BCS messed up on 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8? Nobody ever thinks about that because they were irrelevant. It was all about 1 or 2, and regardless, 1 and 2 always somehow either found the right way to get in or something was messed up. And then number 3 ended up getting left out. That's why we end up bringing in the college football playoff. But the fact of the matter is we didn't need athletic directors to tell us who were the better teams. If you really think about it, the BCS rankings were more fair than the college football playoff rankings. That's scary. We just had the college football playoff start in the 2014 season. That was 6 years ago. I think if you're saying, I actually predicted this too. I said one more slip up by the college football playoff committee and all the group of 5 teams will be ready to boycott the college football playoff. And literally the American Conference Commissioner just said he wants the BCS back. And I'll bet you something else. I bet the Sun Belt commissioner wants the BCS back now. Where do you think Coastal Carolina would be? Where do you think Louisiana would be? Louisiana, well, they'd probably be a few spots up after that. But if you're trying to sit here and tell me that the BCS didn't do a better job ranking teams compared to actual people, oh yeah, you're out of your mind. And all I'm sitting here saying is the college football playoff committee needs to expand. I don't want to hear a single college football fan talking about something. Oh well, the 4 team is actually pretty good. They just need to do it better. No! Stop messing it up for people. Stop it. Be honest with yourself. You would like to see more college football, right? So shut up. Let them pick 6 or 8 teams. If you let them pick 6 or 8 teams, then you get the more chances for teams to play in a college football playoff. And don't you dare lie to yourself. You would love to see more teams play in a college football playoff. Don't you dare lie to me. We don't have time for your biased opinions. If you're sitting here telling me Ohio State 5-0 with only 1 ranked win, and it was a ranked win that people didn't even like. People said, dude, that was their worst performance. They didn't need to have that better of a performance. But if you're trying to tell me Ohio State only playing 2-win teams except for Indiana was the most deserving team to go to the college football playoff, you're out your damn mind. But here's all I gotta say, man. I'm need for the college football playoff rankings to stop being biased, man. And the sad thing about it is, this coming Saturday might be the last straw. Because literally one thing can set this whole thing on fire. I guarantee you, one thing can set this whole damn thing on fire. Either Ohio State losing. If Ohio State loses, oh, we're getting something crazy. If Clemson loses, oh, we getting something insane. If Texas A&M loses, oh my gosh, we're getting insanity. So if Clemson already loses, you would assume they're out, but they might mess around and let a 2-loss Clemson team still get in. Oh, Ohio State loses, they're completely out. But would you really put a 1-loss Texas A&M team with no conference champion over a 2-loss Iowa State team that dominated the Big 12 championship game? You would think that was blatantly an obvious choice, but when you think about the college football playoff committee, you can lose to a 3-5 team and only drop 1 spot and still be in the playoffs. That's the type of year we're in, people. All I gotta say is, buckle up your seatbelts, get your popcorn ready for this weekend. We're about to see some chaos. That's all I gotta say about this.